Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to the Let Me Tell You Something podcast. We're your hosts, Christian
and Santa Claus.
Did not
That's right,
know.
folks. He's real.
Live and in person for one night only.
He doesn't live in the North Pole, just so you guys know that. He actually lives in Florida. So, forget all the lies your mom and dad told you.
He's gotta take some time to get away from the cold. He's like a snowbird. We got those people all the time, which is partly what causes the crazy driving this time of year.
Yeah. but I'm Jordan, and like I say, welcome back to the podcast. Yes. And it's Christmas time, boy.
It is, and I gotta be honest. This might be like a kind of a weird thing to start this with, but since you were just talking about Santa, I'm curious, what were your, views on Santa growing up, as well as your, when you stopped believing in Santa and things of that nature? If you remember, how that happened. I know it's weird, we're starting off with this, right away, but, you brought up Santa, so,
I did.
I'm curious.
I mean, he was a cool concept. But I knew there was no fat man that could travel the world in one night delivering, presents to people. So I kind of always knew he wasn't real.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. My mom and dad didn't say Santa's real.
Yeah.
I just had this feeling deep down that he's not real.
Interesting.
No.
I was very much the opposite. I believed in Santa so much that I was in denial until about 12. That was when I fully accepted it. I always had an inkling and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I stopped officially believing in Santa pretty late, I would say. I used to get in debates with a buddy of mine he was I guess you would say a non-Santa believer, if you will. He would be like, no, I asked my mom, she told me. I'd be like, well, maybe she's wrong, or she's lying or whatever. I don't know. So it was we'd get in these debates and everything, but no, it was not something that I wanted to accept for a long time, and then eventually
that's reasonable.
Yeah. And then of course I did eventually, but and I do remember the way that I officially felt, where I was like, okay, there's no way I can keep believing this. So Santa would always leave a letter for me every after he had his smoking cookies, whatever, right? And I knew I thought about all this, right? I would compare my mom's handwriting to Santa's handwriting. It was different. I was a detective on all this stuff, right? I knew okay, there's no way that they're eating the milk and eating the cookies and drinking the milk because my dad can't have milk. My mom doesn't really like milk, so she's not going to do it either.
And they were pouring the milk down the...
No, they weren't.
They were pouring the milk down the...
No, they weren't doing that. Actually, they were just putting it back in the container. I never thought about... Okay. I never thought about that. But...
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Santa would, leave these letters every, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And one Christmas day, after I got my presents, and I was stuck on a level that I was playing in a new game that I got, and I went to the internet. I didn't have my own computer at the time. I didn't have my computer, I didn't have my phone, iPod, any of that. I went to the computer to look up how to get past this level. And my dad left the letter from Santa on the... He forgot to close it out and get rid of it. He left it up. It was like a Word... He made it in a Word document.
A Word document, yeah.
But I was like, oh, Like that was like the nail. Like again, I had these reasons, right? But that was the nail in the coffin for me. And it didn't like when I like opened up to my mom about it. I was like, yeah, like I don't really. I think like it was the next Christmas that she like said something about Santa. I was like, I don't really believe in Santa. Because the funny thing is, right? It wasn't even. It's like when the parents are like, oh no, like it'll break their heart. For me, it was like it'll break my mom's heart to know that I don't believe in Santa anymore. So I like kept it up, but yeah. So I officially stopped believing in Santa at 12. And but which again, super late for a kid, right? But I always thought, like in movies and stuff, right? It never made sense why, in a world where Santa is real, why would there be like if in the movies, right, where like many Christmas movies are like this, where like the kid believes in Santa, the parents don't, whatever. Like the Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen, for example.
Fantastic movie.
Great film. Great. Well, the first two were good. The third one, we won't.
The third one was okay. That was definitely the lackluster of the third.
It was, yeah. It was diminishing returns for sure. But basically, if you have this whole thing where it's like the parents are like they don't really believe in Santa, like or Elf, right? Any of these things where like Santa is something where people are like, oh, the parents do the presents or whatever. Here's the thing: if the parents know,
right?
They should know at least if they wake up and there actually is a bunch of presents that they didn't put there, they're gonna know it was fucking Santa. If they're getting the gifts of their own and it's not, then they're gonna know it wasn't Santa. But like, if Santa's real, how are there people that don't believe? You know what I mean? Because it's like in that world, the parents don't need to get gifts. In the world that Santa's actually there, and then the parents know, like, well, I didn't fucking get him that. Even if Santa just brings one gift, if there's like an extra gift or whatever, like, oh, well, did you get him that? No, like, it just was always weird to me, thinking about that.
Yeah.
How do you think about that kind of? To me, that's like a plot hole that is like in many of those kind of Christmas movies.
I don't really think about that kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, Santa Claus, huh?
No, go ahead.
Santa Claus, good movie. Elf, good movie. I'm really big into those like clay animation, like Santa Claus is coming to town.
It's called like Frankenbass or something. Rankin-Bass, something.
Yeah, like that. What's that one movie called where it's the snow miser and the heat miser?
It's literally called like the Heat Miser and Snowman or Snow something.
Well, so like I think it's Santa Claus is coming to town where
that's where they're introduced. Yeah. But there's also The Year Without a Santa Claus.
That's a good movie too.
And there's is The Year Without a Santa? Is that the one where he has the song? You put one foot in front of the other.
Yes.
Okay, so I like that. So I think about that song like frequently. I don't know why it's just always stuck in my head.
Another Christmas movie I like, and I haven't seen. I probably should watch it just to refresh.
Rankin-Bass.
Refresh the brain. Is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. That was a cool movie.
Yeah. They did a Little Drummer Boy as well.
Okay. Yeah, man, it was, obviously, a classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, live action, Jim Carrey.
He did a Jack.
I like the animated How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The really old one. Not
from the 60s.
Yeah, not the one with Benedict Cumberbatch. That one was...
It was fine,
it was like, to me, that movie is a thing, like, if, like, you and, like, your loved ones or whatever, like, cooking in the kitchen or baking, whatever.
You have it on, like, background.
Yeah. So, like, oh, that's cool, yeah, blah, 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 so.
I watched it at the gym.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
I didn't. It was. When I watched the movie, and especially by the time I finished it, I was like, that was.
I wasted my time.
No, I was just like, that was okay.
Wow.
It was an okay film.
Definitely something that you like, or at least for me, I would only watch once, maybe twice, again for like background.
But it's
stuff.
interesting because Christmas movies are often very formulaic. But at the same time, so you bring up The Grinch. I know it seems to be pretty controversial to a lot of people, but I actually really like the Jim Carrey one, the 2000 Jim Carrey one. That is my favorite rendition of The Grinch.
Same.
The 60s one is good, don't get me wrong, but the 2000s one really expands on it, and you see more of these characters and the world of the Who's and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Fun fact, I'll tell you. I don't know if you know this or not, if we talked about this, or we definitely have it on the pod. But Jim Carrey, to go into the makeup as the Grinch, it was so torturous that they eventually hired a CIA operative to teach him how to withstand torture.
I think I heard
so
this.
that he could deal with that.
Endure the makeup.
Yes. It was
That's intense.
And I mean, he looks amazing in it.
Oh,
he looks
kind of scary.
That's
not scary. He looks unsettling.
When I was a kid, I was afraid. I was scared of that version of the Grinch. Yeah. And, I mean, that came out when I was 4, so that makes sense, right?
Yeah, when I was a little kid, the one scene that not scared but freaked me out a little bit was when he's atop his mountain. He's pacing back and forth, and he's thinking and saying out loud like how can I ruin their Christmas? And then he thinks he is going to dress up as Santa Claus and steal it.
Yeah,
and he does that real unsettling smile.
Oh, that was
whoa, this is a good idea. That was the only part that really made me I did not like that.
For me, it was just the part where there's that thing. I think they use it in trailers and stuff even, or where Cindy Lou meets him for the first time, and she's like, "You're the and he's like the Grinch," like that kind of. But what I find really kind of spooky and unsettling now, and serial killer vibes, is when he goes around town and he's wearing that mask, Who mask, and he's got a saw. I'm like, bro, this is a horror movie now. Which, by the way, much better horror movie than the actual Grinch horror movie, The Mean One.
That's so dumb.
That was not a good movie.
That's definitely if you showed me it without any context, here's a video of The Mean One, a Grinch movie. I would have thought that was a fan made movie.
It was pretty low.
It was $50 to shoot the whole thing.
No, well, okay. So first of all, it costs a lot. The crazy.
I was like, wow, that's a good fan made film.
No. So the funny thing is, a low budget movie is $500,000 to $1 million.
Really?
Yes.
Dang.
It takes a shit ton of a shit ton of money to make a movie look really fucking good.
Right.
It's crazy. So I mean, or at least used to be a big fan of the MCU, for example. A lot of those movies are multi-million, billion-dollar movie. It takes
one movie. You're good for the rest of your life. I would say maybe 2 movies.
The profit of one movie, or what?
So you getting what you were promised to be paid. Like Robert Downey Jr., man. The first Iron Man.
Oh, he
was stacked from the beginning.
Yeah.
But as they kept on obviously expanding, then sheesh.
Speaking about that though,
brother,
they did a Guardians of the Galaxy special, a Christmas special, and
that one was okay.
On that note, how do you feel about Christmas, not movies, but Christmas specials in general?
I don't really care for them.
Really? Oh man.
So kind of like the same thing. I put in the background. I may look over like, no way. And then I'll go back to whatever I'm
Wow.
doing.
I always looked forward to Christmas specials as a kid. Like, because I'd watch like, I remember ones that like stuck in my mind were like Ed, Edd and Eddy, SpongeBob SquarePants.
I did watch the SpongeBob SquarePants one.
Yeah, the very first Christmas to me, you know?
Squidward.
Squidward. And that scene, by the way, I love when they put adult jokes like this, where like Squidward, you know, he's like, I feel like and then you have the donkey.
Oh yeah.
I feel like an ass.
I feel like an ass.
Right,
yeah.
but I don't know. I love that shit. Right, that kind of stuff is really good. But no, yeah, that one's the fairly okay. So like. For context, I grew up primarily on like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. Didn't really give a fuck about Disney. But for like Nickelodeon, it was like another one like sticks to my mind is like the Fairly Odd Parents one, where he wishes it was Christmas every day. And so many of these had like big musical numbers. This was Disney, but I liked Phineas and Ferb. They had a Christmas movie, like so many. I don't know. I just really loved a lot of like Christmas specials and stuff, and they were good. And from what I remember, the Ed, Edd and Eddy one was actually pretty fucking mature because it wasn't about Santa didn't exist. It wasn't about any of this supernatural stuff or anything. It was instead about like, oh god, what was it? It was like Eddie learning to like be a better person and like give back and stuff like that
and not be such a douche.
Yeah, exactly. Now, granted, because it's a cartoon, the next episode he resets, but you know, but it was a good fucking. I don't know. I love that shit. Yeah. But you know, this all leads to I would think. Well, okay, two other things. One, if you have a favorite Christmas movie, because I would say that mine. Which is funny. I actually haven't watched it this year yet, but my go-to, and this is my favorite like fictional story in general, has always been A Christmas Carol, and my favorite rendition of A Christmas Carol, again controversial to many people, is the 2009 again Jim Carrey 2009 Jim Carrey one, because the reason that this is very much the case is because okay, so I talk a lot about how I want adaptations to stay true to the source material. This is a very good example of that because the dialogue is like straight from the book. The scenes, it is like the book come to visual form. That is what I want a adaptation to be, and I fucking love that movie. And I love that story in general. I mean, the historical context and what it did for... So basically, actually, I don't know how much you know about, the history of Christmas. That was another thing. I used to watch, the History Channel had, a documentary of the history of Christmas, and so I'd watch things like that, too. And I've learned a lot about, Christmas and stuff in general. But for a long time, Christmas was outlawed. Because Christmas was not this, originally, a lot of the elements we have of Christmas came from things like Saturnalia and Yule and stuff like that, which were these more Norse, pagan, festivities and stuff. It wasn't until the Catholic Church actually outlawed Christmas for a while. I think the Queen of England did as well. The Puritans definitely did. Because they hate everything fun. But because for a long time, Christmas was it was this time where kids especially, but people in general were very rambunctious and rowdy, and it was this big party essentially, but it was a nuisance to kind of society in a way. And it wasn't until, actually, it was two things. And I'm being a bit reductive with how I explain this, but A Christmas Carol, the book by Charles Dickens, basically showed people how important Christmas was, and was a big part of that, like, helping people to realize, like, no, like, you should be off for Christmas. You know, like you should be with your family, like, all these different things. It's not good to be, like, a skinflint, like, horrible, like, you know, basically evil boss, you know, these different things.
Bah humbug.
Exactly, yeah. There was a lot of other stuff that went into it, and of course, you know, Charles Dickens had done, like, you know, Oliver Twist. Oh my God, there's another one that I can't remember what it's called right now. But, you know, he's done this, like, these stories that are, like, were kind of like critiquing the society of the day and kind of basically trying to get people to be more, like, sympathetic toward, like, the working class and things like that, and kind of point out how terrible the upper class is treating them and stuff. And he was a pretty good dude. But the other thing that really made Christmas what it is now was the book 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. That book, which was written as a kind of like Percy Jackson was written as a little story. Yeah, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas was written for this guy's daughter, and she loved it so much, and they made it like this, like, official thing. And that is where we get the version of Santa Claus that we have now. Except the reason that he has red now, because he used to be depicted as, like, he'd have a red coat, he'd have a blue coat, he'd have a green coat, a yellow, whatever. The reason he's mainly red now is because of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, this all happened, like, in the 50s primarily. You had, well, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas was, like, the 20s or something. But Coca-Cola, like, really put a lot of their marketing in, like, they used Santa in a lot of their marketing.
Yeah, makes sense.
And eventually, Santa became ubiquitous with Coca-Cola Red, and just with eventually red in general. But, you know, Christmas has a long, storied, very interesting history. And that's not really what this, you know, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but what I will say is there's a lot of things that we take for granted about Christmas that we think, like, Christmas is an amalgamation of so many different things, so many different cultures and ideas and things. Now it's very much seen as, like, very much seen as a religious holiday. You know, a lot of people go to church on Christmas Eve, stuff like that. But many of the traditions that we have are not, they don't come from, like, they come from, you know, like I was saying, like pagan, you know, ideas and stuff like that. Like the Yule log eventually basically became a Christmas tree, for example. There's a like, again, there's a ton of stuff that goes into all of it, but you know, as I understand it, I don't know if there was, like, a specific person that actually was, like, Saint Nicholas, but at least there was an idea, there was a character of Saint Nicholas, who, of course, later became Santa Claus, which came from Sinterklaas, which was Dutch for Saint Nicholas. So, but yeah, no, you know, there's, yeah, I mean, there's a lot you could, I mean, it's so fascinating, and to me, I have always loved Christmas. Like, and like, yeah, when I was a kid, of course, I cared about the presents and stuff, and I still, like, who doesn't like getting things, right? And it's nice to give things to people, but I'm the opposite of the Grinch in this way. I just love the whole season. I don't really know the reason, you know. I just the reason. I've always loved it. I'm like. Have you always been just a big fan of Christmas in general?
Yeah, oh yeah. Christmas is my favorite holiday of all time. Like, Christmas, everything about it, quality time with friends, family,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Big fan of it. Big fan of Christmas.
Are there any moments, either like maybe it is a specific gift or something you got as a kid, or maybe it's something else, that like sticking to your mind and you remember, like, you kind of think this is Christmas, like I love this.
I don't think anything specific, but man, I remember when I was younger, I loved cereal. Like, cereal was my
Still do.
breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, whatever.
Mm.
Like, if I was left to my own whim, I would have cereal for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Morning, afternoon, nighttime, whatever. And so, this is, I think I was like 10 or maybe 11. And our next door neighbor, we're all buying gifts for each other. And, Christmas morning comes.
Yeah. And
our neighbor from across the road, and he comes over and he's like, "Hey, Merry Christmas." And he, he's passing out gifts to, my dad, mom, my brother, just everyone in the house. And he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, Jordan, listen, you're gonna love this. It's gonna fit you perfectly." I'm like, "Okay." And I unwrap it, and like, so he hands it to me with both hands, and it's cold to the touch. I'm like, "What is this?" And like, as I'm ripping open the wrapping paper, I was like, "Okay, all right, this is great." It was a gallon of milk, and
for your ice cream, for your cereal. Yeah,
a literal gallon of milk. He's like, "Merry Christmas," and I was like, "Thanks." And I didn't eat breakfast that morning. What did I do?
Good.
Got some Captain Crunch, the OG Captain Crunch.
Mm.
The one with the little squares.
Mm.
I got a big bowl. Did that, and then
you, of course,
I poured the milk. You freaks!
I was gonna say you poured the milk first. Right?
No! You freaking freaks! Those of you who, hey, you do what you want to do. It's your life, whatever. But it's a freaky thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I poured my cereal, poured the milk. I just went to town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that day I ate nothing other than cereal. Yeah. And I can say with full confidence that I ate so much cereal that day that my gift was empty.
Oh yeah, you finished your milk.
I did.
That's crazy.
it was just like, it was something I wasn't in. Like, I was like, oh, something cold. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But like, just in like it wasn't even in a box. It was just the gallon of milk wrapped up.
Well, I'm sure you probably figured it out by having that.
Well, as I was out, like literally, like the second or third rip, I was like, okay,
yeah.
I know what this is.
Yeah. That's
thanks.
Yeah, that's funny though.
Man.
They must have like just wrapped it then too, because it wouldn't have been cold otherwise.
Probably from his fridge. Like,
yeah.
We have extra milk. We'll give it to Jordan.
That's hilarious.
Hey, listen.
Hey, where a gallon of milk go? Well,
listen, I finished the whole milk, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
It's funny. So I have a few. So I don't know if you were like this growing up, but for me, most of the time, a new game that I wanted was coming out in like November, and I would have to wait until Christmas to get it and play it and stuff. So for me, a lot of things that I got growing up were games,
Right.
and a lot of times it'd be like, so some of my like, one of the like Christmases that I remember the most, is 2008. I was 11. Was I 11? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wasn't 12 yet. I was 11 at that point. And there was this giant stocking, and in that stocking were all of my presents.
Really?
Yes, it was a huge stocking.
Oh,
it was a
okay.
huge stocking.
I was gonna say a normal Christmas stocking, like
no, a huge stocking.
Oh.
And in that giant stocking, my presents were in that. And now this Christmas was very special to me because it was the first of a few different things. One of my best friends at the time and his mom were coming over. It was the first year with our pet that I really loved, Ty, who was a little orange tabby. He was kind of my baby. I called him the King of the Cutes. Had a very special bond with him. We can talk about him more later, but I fucking love that cat. And it was... I think it wasn't the first time that, like, my mother that raised me that gave birth to me came over. Mm-hmm. They did that pretty often, her and her family. But by the way, I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the podcast or anything, but basically I was raised by my grandparents. So if I refer to my parents, I'm talking about the ones that raised me. If I refer to my biological parents, I will be referring to them as biological parents. Anyway, and it was also, so 2008, like earlier that year, Smash Bros. Had come out. That Christmas, December 5th, 2008, Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh came out. Which I quite liked. Big fan of Drake and Josh, and you'll see where this goes. So I got a Sonic Unleashed for the Wii, which I was really looking forward to at that point. And I spent most of the day playing it, and I got to play with my friend because we got to play it together.
There you go.
And we got to hang out and stuff in general, and it was a good time. And then one day, not one day, like later in the day, they're like, "Oh, you have another present you need to open." I'm like, what are you talking about? There's this big, thing. I have no idea what it could be, right? Mm-hmm. I had played guitar a little bit here and then at this point. I wasn't like super. I think I was kind of put it down at this point, but no. Oh no, that's right, because I played for everybody. Anyway, so I opened this gift, and it was a black SG guitar, which I actually still have, but. I'm like, oh my god, it's a new guitar, and they're like, yeah, but check the signature, and it was signed by Drake Bell. Now, audience, Drake Bell, yes, from Drake and Josh, as I referenced earlier, was my hero growing up. I wanted to be this man. I styled my hair after him. I styled my clothing style to an extent after him.
You were a fanboy.
I wasn't a fanboy. I was so inspired by him and his character in the show, but mainly him. The more I found out about him and his music and all these different things, I related a lot to him in general. So I saw a lot of myself in him, and I also was very inspired by him in a multitude of facets.
I would say that's a fanboy.
I wouldn't say I don't think a fanboy is someone who wants to be... Well, okay, maybe. Well, no, maybe. I don't know. I feel like a fanboy wouldn't be someone who wants to be like their hero or be their hero or whatever, but a fanboy is someone who's just more like... I don't know. I mean, maybe, but regardless... he was my hero growing up, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got this new guitar, I started, and I actually played his version of Jingle Bells, which is really just Brian Setcher's version of Jingle Bells. for my family later that night. It probably wasn't good, but they humored me and my 11-year-old self, which is sweet. Yeah, so so that was like the first memorable, like really memorable Christmas I had as a kid. And then later, I had a really nice Christmas several years ago with my last girlfriend and her group of friends. We had a nice little Christmas party at her house, and it was so cool. It was like, this is Christmas. This is a bunch of people getting together, just having a good time, enjoying each other's company. It was I love. And then I went to her place for Christmas Eve. Christmas. I think I went to her place for Christmas Eve, and then I think so. And then like I picked her up later in the day for Christmas and brought her to my place, and we had our own Christmas together after everything. And it was just a beautiful. I loved it. It was such it was a great time. Those two were probably my most memorable Christmases. I don't remember like what I got like gift wise at all from. I think by this point because I was like living not on my own, but I had moved out. I was living with a roommate. I think oh yeah. Because I wasn't bringing her back to my place. I was bringing her back to my parents' place. That's what it was. Anyway, but yeah, those were like my favorite, like my most memorable Christmas. So 2008 and 2017. Since then, I've been going to my mom's for Christmas, and it's. Excuse me, sorry, I had to yawn.
That was a big yawn.
It was yeah.
Alright, folks, that's it for tonight.
Yeah, too tired.
No.
No, gotta go to bed, so we're asleep for Santa. That was a big thing for me as a kid too. I have always struggled with going to sleep in general. Christmas Eve fucking destroyed me. I so often I couldn't fall asleep. I was so excited. Even when I stopped believing in Santa. But especially when I still believed in Santa. But there were a few times when I was actually woken up by my parents. They were like, oh, it's Christmas and he's not up. Well, wake up. It's time for Christmas, What was your experience with all of that kind of stuff?
Well, my first legitimate Christmas was after me and my brother were adopted by our adoptive parents. We never had a legitimate Christmas, because we went through all the foster care system and all the homes, and Christmases were different. Some we were all gathered around the tree, and some were like, oh, okay, like we each got our presents, and we were at like different places in the house. Yeah, it was a real mess. So our first legitimate Christmas was right after me and my older brother got adopted by our parents now. And man, me and my brother were a mess. Let's just say that much. So the morning of Christmas, our mom and dad burst into the room. Merry Christmas! Me and my brother start bawling.
Aww.
We're like screaming and we're bawling, and they calmed us down, and our mom told me, I think like last Christmas she was telling me a story, and she was like, me and your dad looked at each other and we're like, I don't think these kids have ever had a real Christmas. Like, what's our, like, are they okay? And that's we were a whole mess. Like, for instance, me and my brother's diets, our food habit when we were younger consisted of pizza rolls, cookies, and ice cream. No no fruits, no vegetables, no normal meal plan. No normal meal, right? And but yeah, they're bursting there. Oh, Merry Christmas! Me and my brother start freaking crying like the world's about to end, and they calm us down, and they're like, hey, this is what a Christmas is supposed to be. Blah blah blah. One of the presents I got, and I think my brother got the same one, but of like a different franchise or something. But I got Elmo pajamas, Christmas Elmo pajamas, and it was back when we were living in Colorado, and it was good, yeah. Yeah, that was my first actual Christmas. But no, my Christmases, were always, good. Man, I had a terrible habit. This was, I'm so glad I aged out of this, because if I still, if I was still like this in my adulthood, right now, it'd be a problem, and I would have to be sat down by someone and be like, hey, you need to calm down. The habit I had, my brother didn't have it, but I did, was, how many presents do I have?
You would compare
I
it to...
I would, oh, Mom! And so when me and my brother were younger, I used to call him Jemiah instead of Jeremiah.
Right.
And so I'd be like, Mom, Jemiah he has 20 gifts. I have 10.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, it was bad. And even my mom and my dad, they were like, obviously as I'm older now, they're like, yeah, that was a terrible,
habit
you had.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that wasn't the best of habits.
No, that's not good.
But I do remember on my 11th, not birthday, on my 11th Christmas, 11 years old, Christmas around that time, I got, and I'm pretty sure they don't sell them anymore, which is a shame, but that's what makes it, good, because, you have all the memories. Anyways, I got what was called a green machine.
Like your shoes?
No. So this was, think of a really, not high-tech, but think of a real, like a giant, tricycle, I think.
It sounds like something Donatello would make in the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely look it up, but it was called a green machine, and to where I would sit down, and it was like a bike, some sort of a bike, and there would be these two levers that I'd hold with each hand, and I'd be pedaling, and if I wanted to drift, I would freaking pull the thing, pull my right hand down. Towards me, and I would literally do drifts and skids.
Okay.
It was so fun.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard of it.
Yeah. It was so fun. Although it was a pain to build. It took
Really? Okay.
2 hours, and it was when my grandpa was still alive. He helped me and my brother build it. It took almost 2 hours to build. It was rough, but it was so. I would always. My 11-year-old legs, I would always pedal as fast as I possibly can and just crank it down and just do 10 different freaking, skid marks, skid down the road and all that kind of stuff, drifting. That was fun. But no, I think I maybe talked about this, but Christmas morning, me and my brother would always wake up around 5.
Okay.
5:30, and our mom and dad would always, that. So when we first got adopted, we lived in Colorado in this janky old apartment complex, and then we moved down to Florida, 2004, and that's when that's when our dad found, and it's right down the road. It's like 10 minutes away. Just this meth head, just a not so good neighborhood where all the houses were run down.
Okay.
He found this
Bad part of town.
Basically this bungalow for us to live in, and like the first week, like, it was some boxes were unpacked. Me and my brother shared some small room, and everyone was doing their thing, going to school.
Right.
And it was actually back when our mom used to work at me and my brother's school. And so we would, at the time we only had one car. So we would, so at like 4:30 in the morning, we would all jam pack into this little car that we had, and we would drive a little bit past St. Pete to our dad's work, because he worked at some big golf shop establishment, some real fancy thing. And then, we drop him off. And then it was a real journey. It was a journey. We'd go there, drop him off, for work. And then, our mom, she'd drive me and my older brother, to back home. We'd go to sleep for another hour or so, and then we had to get up and go to school. So our mom, she would drive me and my brother to work,
right?
Then drive herself to work, and then I remember like a year or two later, that car was like it didn't work anymore. So it was our first introduction to Florida was a real wild ride. So something happened with the car. We lost the car. Our dad had to take like 10, maybe 11 buses to work. And me, my older brother, and our mom, we would take 3 buses. One bus to like a bus stop. We wait for the next bus. We would take 3 buses from our house, our little crappy bungalow looking house. We would take 3 buses to school, get done with school. We take 3 buses back home. Dad would do the same thing. He would take a bus. It was wild. Let's just say that. But back, obviously our grandpa was still alive. He graciously, thank the Lord on high, he got us, and he paid the first 5 years of it off. He bought us a van. And that was a real lifesaver. Because we didn't take the bus.
You and the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, we had that a big tan van, big tan van. We'd still drive Dad to work, but we would drive to school and all that kind of stuff. And then later on that year, we as a family saved up, some money. We all pitched in, and our dad got himself, I remember, a Saturn. I'm pretty sure they don't make those anymore.
I think they do, maybe not.
But yeah, so he had his own car, so he could go to work at 4 a.m. And then obviously the family had the family van, so he'd drive. Yeah, so like the first 2 weeks we're living in this bungalow. This just dump of a bungalow house. There was this, and you would have hated this. There was this massive spider that lived in the walls of our crappy house, our crappy bungalow, because it wasn't really a house. It was a hut, basically.
You're right. I already hate it.
Yeah. And so I remember at like that night, our mom, shrieking. Dad's yelling. He's he's trying to kill it, and me and my brother were poking our heads out, and our dad's like, "Get back in the room. We don't know if it was a wolf spider."
Fuck that.
Yeah. so our mom and dad were talking, and she's like, "Honey, you need to find a different place for us now." And again, like a few weeks, maybe a month later, he found a lot in this just freshly like mowed down piece of land, which would eventually become the neighborhood that we would officially grow up in, down here in Florida. And it was the first house built. So just imagine just like a desert-like view of just this big piece of land with one house, and it was blue. Because who wants to have their house, a brown colored house? Who wants to have a tan? Like most of the places I see in Florida, they're like, they're either brown, they're tan, they're like a cream color. It's like, where's the colors? Like, obviously, Actually, I remember one time I was driving to work and I saw this all pink house. It was like a salmon pink house. It was like, ooh, okay. Well, you can stick with the normal colors. But we're so happy we would have a legitimate house. Me and my brother, I think at the time he was, and this was about a year after me and him got adopted. So I was, because I was 7, he was 8 when we got adopted. So I was 8, he was 9 when we were getting this house. And me being, the exuberant, literally fall down, come right back up kid. Like, I bounced. Like, my brother, on the other hand, he'd hit the floor or hit the ground. He'd cry. Oh my God. But me, man, I tripped, I fell down, I hit the floor, hit the ground, I'd get right back up and do my thing. But
so you're telling me you got down, but you got up again?
I did. But my little brain didn't think to say, Jordan, before you step out of the van, make sure you put on some shoes.
Okay.
Now, granted,
I know
this is the middle of the building of the house. So, you had plywood everywhere, you had nail, you had all sorts of things everywhere. So I'm out, bare feet. I'm running, oh my gosh, I need to pick my room,
Got them dogs out.
Ah, dude, bad move. I went up onto the curb, onto like where the driveway would be, in the coming years. Excuse me, in the coming years. And all of a sudden, I dropped to the floor. I'm like, I'm screaming, I'm crying.
Yeah.
I stepped on a nail on my right foot. It went through my foot. Like, a nail was protruding from the bottom of my foot through the top of my foot. It was absolutely terrible. Thank goodness I didn't get any infections or anything. But mom and dad were like, Jordan, what are you doing? Let's get you fixed up. Are you okay? And like, Jordan, next time, like, me and my brother, we were not trained at all. Like we would just run out in traffic, like without like looking both ways. To whereas our mom, she would like the first year or so, we were like dogs, like puppies. Like our mom had to train us like whoa, oh, and like she would put out her arms.
Right.
She's like, whoa, Jordan, Jeremiah, what do we do? Look both ways. Okay, let's look both ways. Let's do it a second time. Double take. All right, safe. Now you can go across the road. And the whole thing with the whole diet thing. Again, me and my brother's diet consisted of cookies, pizza roll, just all the unhealthy stuff. And a few years into living in Colorado, actually, they're like, here in Florida, our mom, I think our dad was at work, but our mom sat us down And she's like, okay, you two. You guys need to eat a vegetable of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And she laid out all the vegetables that we had in the house. And she's like, okay, you guys have to pick one to eat. Like, that's your vegetable. Don't care what vegetable you pick. You just have to pick one. And you have to at least eat some of it. And my brother, for some god-awful reason, chose broccoli. Broccoli's okay. Not my favorite, but...
I like it.
Like, our mom laid, like, carrots, cauliflower.
I'm not a big fan of carrots.
Just all sorts of vegetables. And he had to pick broccoli. Well, me, being the smart one, I'm just kidding. But me, I chose peas. And, she's all right, try them out. See if you like them, first off. And so, I had them. I was like, these are good, but like, can I put something on them? And our mom was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, can I put like a sauce on this? Or she's like, yeah, but you gotta eat it. I'm like, okay. And so I'm going through relish, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup. I stopped on ketchup. A little 1-2 squirt of ketchup, mix up in the bowl of peas. I had a spoonful. I was like, wow, this is pretty freaking good. And recently, I wanted to, revisit my younger palate to see if I was a freak or not. And I had a little bowl of peas, like a couple of months ago. I had a little bowl of peas, and I put a little bit of ketchup, mix it up. I had a spoonful. Disgusting. I don't know what my palate was thinking. At the time, it was good, but now I'm like, it was disgusting. I was like, oh, God, I love this. Ugh. But, wow, went off on a tangent.
No, so I was going to say, like, I
my Christmases were good.
Yeah. So I was going to say, I understand the nostalgia of just letting you go off here.
I know.
I do want to get us back to Christmas for the
all of this
Christmas
stems
episode.
from the question: how was your Christmas growing up?
Yeah. Okay, so let's hope this doesn't get into the whole history of your family again.
That's funny.
But what kind of Christmas? I'll go first.
Well, you see, when I was 10 years old, no, I'm just kidding. No.
I wanted to ask, like, family Christmas traditions, like how you and your family, like, celebrated. What did you guys do, stuff like that, right? So for me, it was like I would say Christmas officially started when my mom was often kind of multiple things at once. My mom and dad were like decorating the tree. My mom would be in the kitchen making something while my dad was decorating the tree, and Christmas music would be on in the room. That was when Christmas officially started. When that was happening, it was Christmas time.
Okay.
Normally, I think they would. My mom had this record by the Carpenters, their Christmas record. She loved it, and a lot of. Well, mainly Sleigh Ride. Like, I remember that one. That is the version of... When I think of the song Sleigh Ride, that is the version that I think of. And we'll get to, like, Christmas songs in a minute. But as far as traditions go, yeah, so that was the big thing for me.
Nice.
And, of course, we'd sit around and we'd watch Christmas movies, have some, like, cocoa or whatever. But when it came to, like, the getting up part, so I think I touched on this in like another episode, but basically what we would do or what I would, because I was an only child, so what I would do is if I got up before the sun was up, which was before 6 a.m., Christmas, it's not Christmas yet. I would sneak out, and I wouldn't ever like pick them up or anything, right? Or but what I would do is I would like look out into the hallway and see like all the presents.
Ooh.
Like that night, I'd be like, oh wow, and then, which is like, how am I gonna go to sleep now? But a big thing that I did during this, like, if I couldn't go to, which started happening as I got older more and more, I couldn't go to sleep. I would watch TV, and a lot of TV that was playing on Christmas Eve was, of course, Christmas shows. Mm-hmm. So I actually found out about shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, for example, because of their Christmas special. That was the first episode I ever saw. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of bands and stuff that I've found about because of Christmas as well. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that in a minute, but first, let me. And then typically what we would do is like there are people who do this in weird ways to me. So we were never one for like, oh, you can open one present before Christmas Eve. Like that wasn't a thing.
Gosh, I would never do that.
But what we did do is we would do things like, okay, so basically, you know, as soon as you get up, you gotta tear into the presents, and then afterwards we would we'd check our stockings and all that. But there are people who do that backwards, or there are people who like have breakfast even before doing anything with, and it's like, it's Christmas. Like, what are you doing? It's not time for breakfast. It's time for presents.
That's right.
Which was, especially as a kid, it was agonizing sometimes because like, I'm there waiting. And meanwhile, my mom or my dad, whoever, just has to get the camera and like, oh, we got to take pictures of it, which I totally understand as an adult. But as a kid, I'm just like, I just want to, you know.
Stop eating the oatmeal, Dad. Get it?
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah. Like, stop with whatever. Like, you know, it's time for presents, you know.
That's funny.
And, you know, but yeah, you know, I don't know where I was going with that. I just, you know, I don't know, as we've grown up, or as I've grown up, I started, like, now when I go to my mom's, for example, and I've done this for a while now, I'll, like, find the presents for everyone and pass them, and we basically get everything in a pile, like, each one gets their own pile, and then we take turns wrapping our gifts and shit, and, it's a good time. It's a good time. I've always loved. So, on that note, I'm curious as to what, like, your traditions like that were, and I will ask you about music in a moment too. But first, start with that.
Well, a tradition that we used to do, and I'm probably going to implement this with my future family, is I just had a brain fart. Dang. So every Christmas in Colorado before, we had one Christmas in Colorado, and that's when we moved down here to Florida. Yada yada yada. But up there, the first Christmas we went. I forgot what. It's not the Blue Ridge Mountains. We went to some like mountain, right? And it's obviously snow. It's snow-capped mountain, yada yada. We snowmobiled. That was fun. And then obviously we moved down here. And then traditions down here. We would go up to the Blue Ridge Mountains, and we would rent. Oh man, I remember it clearly. We rented this, and it was. I mean, it's probably super freaking expensive now, but back then, it was hella cheap. We rented a whole week. We rented this cabin. It was 3 stories. It was top floor, the middle floor, and then it had a basement.
I thought you were going to say the bottom floor.
No.
I'm like, well, yeah, that's...
Yeah, but yeah, no, so we rented, for a whole week, up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We rented out this 3-story cabin, and it was right next to this, creek. and it was this creek and this cabin were right next to this meadow. It was so good. But I remember we would go there, we'd light a fire in the fireplace, well, in the fire outside, in our little like yard thing, or yard space. We would roast marshmallows. Just kind of spend time as a family. I remember one of the times we did that, we made friends with the next door neighbors, and they had they had like a 20-person family. And they had, I think, a corgi and a German shepherd with them. So, we would, do Christmas with them, for that week. I think it was either like the week before or 2 weeks before actual Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But yeah, we would just kind of like most of our like traditions would mostly be outside. Inside traditions, we would, we'd decorate the tree. We'd have, Frosty the Snowman, Frosty Returns, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the Island of Misfit Toys. We'd have that playing in the background. Cookies would be baking in the oven. Just a good time. Yeah. Trying to think what else. I think that's it actually. No, then like I said before, another week, we wake up at 5:30. Parents would always put our stockings in our bathroom. I'd go into the bathroom. I'd knock gently on my brother's door. He'd say, "Come in." We'd open up our stockings together. We usually got what's that? It's like farting putty. It's like farting gel. Like you would like push your thumb into it or a finger. It would make farting sounds.
I know it's not silly putty, but
that's like goo.
Yeah, it's some gross out gag gift.
I'll just call it farting goo.
Sure.
Or goo, yeah. So we got that. We got obviously candy, and then we would get one of like a $50 gift card to GameStop, whatever store it was to. And then mom and dad would wake up, and then they kind of got themselves together, quickly, because they're like, "Hey, both of our children are waiting in their rooms for the gifts." And so, we would cut. They'd be like, "All right, we're ready." We'd come out, we'd open gifts. Usually, our grandpa was with us. He'd sleep in the guest room, and he would always be the one to man, he would always be the one to sit on the couch with his bowl of grain cereal, literally like little sticks of grain. It's like Grain-O, I think. Anyways, so some grain cereal. And he'd be the one that's in charge of the camera. And I think like the first couple of Christmases down here in Florida, we would all literally just tear into everything, and Christmas would be over in like 20 minutes. And so, our dad came out. He's like, "Okay, listen, all the next Christmases that are coming up, let's not all just tear open everything at once. Let's take turns. So that way, right? Christmas, it's a longer kind of the process of opening gifts is longer, and plus it's like, okay, like let's all see what so and so got, that kind of stuff. So Christmas is going forward to make it last longer. We would each individually open, our mom would be like, "All right, well, here's Grandpa, Jeremiah, here's yours, Dad, Steve, here's yours, Jordan, that's pretty much it for traditions inside and outside. So, never hot take. Never was a big fan of hot chocolate.
That's funny. So so this is funny to me because you like eggnog, but
love eggnog. Sorry,
not hot chocolate. I don't like it. I can't stand eggnog. But I love hot chocolate.
Now,
So there you go. You can have eggnog, I have hot chocolate. Simple as that.
Yeah, this was either, what are we in, 2025? I think this was 3 Christmases ago. I was visiting my dad because now he lives in Massachusetts with his girlfriend, yada yada. His girlfriend, man, she's a catch. She's definitely at first she's an acquired taste, but now she's funny as hell. But she introduced me to eggnog with literally a drop of Fireball. Oh my gosh!
A lot of people do have spiked egg.
Oh, it is like I'm not a drinker.
Right.
I'll drink a beer or something every once in a while, and by every once in a while, like probably once every other year, maybe 2 times every other year. Like I do not have a drinking palate at all. It's actually kind of disgusting. To me, it's kind of disgusting. But that's another story for a different day. But
thank God.
No, we're gonna get into it right now. I'm just kidding. But no, and so she's like, "Oh my gosh, Jordan, have you had eggnog with a drop of Fireball?" I'm like, "No, but I'm not really that much of a drinker. I like eggnog the way it is, but it's just like just take a sip, literally just a little sip, see what you think." I'm like, you know what? It's Christmas. Who gives a rip? So I had the tiniest shot glass, with a little bit of eggnog, by little I mean a single drop of Fireball. I shot that down my throat. I was like, Nancy, and she's like, yes. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I'm like, pour me a full glass. She's like, really? I'm like, Nancy, pour me. You know what? I'll just do it myself. I literally poured myself a full glass of eggnog, 1 drop of Fireball, mix that mug up in there. Oh my gosh. I will say, that Christmas, I did drink quite a bit of that eggnog. Yeah, it was pretty addictive. Yeah, I was like, whoa, this is like delicious. And last Christmas when I was up there, that's actually a tradition that I personally have. For me, is every Christmas I go up to Massachusetts and I spend Christmas with my dad and all of my uncles, all my aunts, cousins, all those people, and so I say that's a tradition that I've created for myself. But last Christmas I was like, Nancy, she's like, yeah. I'm like, let's go get some Fireball and eggnog. They're all out of Fireball. I was like, oh, so I have to have regular. I mean, regular eggnog is still good, but with the Fireball, it's better, like infinitely better. And so I'm like, oh, Nancy, we're just gonna have regular eggnog. She's like, I'm afraid so. I'm like, oh, bummer. No, it's good. But I don't even know what the question you asked me was.
Christmas traditions, holiday traditions.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No,
I'm so lost. You keep going off on all these.
I
tangents.
do.
But no, it's okay. There was something you said that I wanted to use as a segue into my next question anyway. But I'll just.
Can you describe a part of it?
I have no idea. But what I wanted to ask you anyway, it doesn't matter because it was long ago. But what I wanted to say anyway was, what do you? Okay, so one of the things I do now for Christmas, whenever I visit my mom, she has some like Alexa or some kind of thing like that,
Right.
and some kind of speaker,
Mm-hmm.
and I play Christmas music from that speaker,
Mm-hmm.
and I play a mix of Christmas music. Okay, so this is a part of it, right? A lot of people think that there's no good Christmas songs. And the reason they think that is because they've just heard, like, All I Want for Christmas Is You on repeat ad nauseum, right? But there are so many different Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
So many, and one of the things I wanted to say is there are a lot of, like, artists and stuff that I found out about because I listened to their Christmas music. And one of the things I love, so it used to be commonplace for multiple artists to release the same song and just do variations of it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time where like Elvis, Chuck Berry, and Buddy Holly could all put out Chuck Berry, Chuck Berry and the Beatles put out a song called Roll Over Beethoven, for example. I think there's probably someone else that did it too. But like many songs, it was commonplace for multiple artists to do the same song.
Yeah.
Now, Christmas songs are one of the last examples probably the last example we have of that. There are so many different versions. If you don't like, I don't know, Jingle Bells or whatever, or some other fucking, which technically Jingle Bells is a Thanksgiving song, but we talked about this. I don't know. I don't like White Christmas. It's too soft, too whatever. Like, okay, cool. I guarantee you, there's a hip hop version, there's a pop version, there's a punk rock version. There's and there are so many, and other than just covers of different classic songs like that, there are so many different songs. Like I was talking with a buddy of mine earlier about there's a lot of like angry Christmas songs because Christmas is it's the most wonderful time of the year, right? But for a lot of people, it's really sad because they're lonely or they're struggling financially. Christmas Day or Christmas Eve is actually the number one day of the year for suicides. Because people are so depressed that they're lonely, they're whatever their situation is. And I think there's a beauty of tapping into that sad side of Christmas. There's a lot of like angry Christmas songs and a lot of like not really liking the holidays or not liking whatever or maybe even not, maybe just like going through something that is still like it happens to be Christmas time, but like you're going through this tough thing. And there are some songs like there's Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight by the Ramones, which is like about this couple that is going through some fuck shit. And the whole thing's it's like, I don't want to fight tonight. It's Christmas. We're always fighting, we're having these issues. Not tonight. It's Christmas. Like fuck that shit, And there's also a really good song called Father Christmas by the Kinks. Where the premise of the song is basically, well, not basically, it is you have this person who is dressing up as Santa Claus, one of those like Salvation Army donation Santa Clauses. And they get beat up by these like punk kids. And the kids are telling them like, we don't want your toys, we want your money, all this stuff, right? And eventually, like, the first two verses are basically, them just saying like, we want your, like, we don't care, we just want your money. And then you get to the bridge. And the bridge is where the kids are, because throughout the song, the kids are explaining, it says, because the whole thing is like, the chorus is like, Father Christmas, give us some money, don't mess around with those silly toys. And they're saying like, basically, we don't want the money, give the toys to all the little rich boys. Give the toys to the kids who don't fucking need money. Give them to the rich brats.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to the bridge, where the kids are saying, "But give my daddy a job because he needs one. He's got a lot of mouths to feed." And in that moment, you're seeing, okay, these aren't kids who are just being brats. These are kids who are coming from tough families, and they need help.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have in the next line, but if you got one, I'll take a machine gun so I can scare all the kids on my street. Still showing that they're still kind of dicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
They still want to like fuck around with other kids, and they have that mean streak in them. But you see that, and then at the end, it says, "But have yourself a Merry Christmas, have yourself a good time, but don't forget about the kids who got nothing while you're drinking down your wine." And to me, it is so easy to get lost in all the hustle and bustle and the so many, like the kind of the opulence and the buying gifts for other people, getting whatever, like all these different things, the decorations, and all that stuff is beautiful, and like that stuff is great. But there are people who have a really hard time that, it's important to remember them and to, if you can, like, do what you can to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a really, I really love that. It's a song. It's a really good message. It's not, I wouldn't say it's my favorite Christmas song. I actually don't know anymore if I have a favorite Christmas song. For years, I would say, another yawn. I would have said, and I did say, How Many Kings by the band Down Here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think it's still actually a song by Down Here, but I think, if anything, I would say it's probably Christmas in Our Hearts. Because that song is all about, hey, even if the decorations and the music and all these like things about Christmas weren't here, could we still have Christmas? Could we still have this spirit of giving and love and caring for your fellow man and all of that? So could we still have that spirit? And I love that. To me, that's very beautiful because what makes Christmas, it's Christmas in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such a fucking beautiful. I don't know. I love it. I really do. But like I was saying, there's a ton of like there's a record called Punk Goes Christmas, which is, I'd say, my favorite Christmas album.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a few covers of a few different things, but it also has there's a song called "There Will Be No Christmas" by a band called Crown the Empire. Where it's basically like a sad breakup song. There a band called Set It Off does a cover of This Christmas by no, it wasn't originally by Chris Brown, it was by someone else, but Chris Brown did a cover of it for that Christmas movie he was in. I don't remember what it was. I think you've seen it with me, but anyway, yeah, but there are a ton of there's one that I don't really care for, which is, it's like, This Christmas I'll Burn It to the Ground, which but I think would be a great song in a Grinch movie. But I'm not a big fan of like screamo stuff, and some of it is like very scream heavy, and I'm just not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of scream.
Yeah,
Screamo.
no, I'm not. Like, if it's in like a section, or if it's like one word in a song, like, I'm okay with that, but I'm not a fan if it's like the whole. I'm just not a fan of it. But I could also see that song, This Christmas I'll Burn It to the Ground, working for I guess I could see it for like A Nightmare Before Christmas. But for me, because the whole thing is, This Christmas I'll Burn It to the Ground, This Christmas Santa Skipping Town, like something about they'll see the flames this Christmas. To me, that reminds me of the scene in The Grinch, the 2000 movie, where he sets the fruit tree on fire. And that's how I like view that whole thing. But on that record, there's all I don't remember who does it. Oh, I think it's Real Friends. No, Real Friends does. I Had a Heart, which again, it's like I had this love and all this for Christmas, but now that's all gone, and it opens with a walk on this frozen lake, hoping to hit a spot that's weaker than I was a year and a half ago. He's saying like, I'm walking on this lake. I wish I would just fucking fall through and die because weaker than I was a year and a half ago. And then but even like other than those like kind of like angry and like sad songs or whatever, like there's also a song there's a song that All Time Low has on it, which is called Fool's Holiday, which is a actually kind of sweet song about like trying to like mend broken relationships. Really, it's actually a really beautiful song. And they actually have it's funny because while they have that, they also had a song that was released on their 2011 record, Dirty Work, which was, and I don't know why it was released on this record because it came out in the summer, but whatever. It was called Merry Christmas, Kiss My Ass, which was based off of the line in or named after the line of in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where everyone's walking out the door and he's like, "Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss his ass," Happy Hanukkah. That whole, but the song it's basically a fuck you breakup song. Literally, like the bridge even says, it says, I can't remember like how it goes off the top of my head right now, but it literally says, "Fuck you, girl, I'm going out," and then it's sweet because there's also a record called with Lindsey Sterling, who is a pretty famous violinist, and she has a record called Warmer in the Winter. And Alex from All Time Low actually features on her song "Time to Fall in Love," and that's a really beautiful like Christmas song, basically saying like, Christmas is the time to fall in love. All the girls are shopping and they're looking for me. It's a really beautiful, and there's moments where it's saying like, if the summer is a 5 or 6 and the white winter weather makes the top of my list. He's saying like, I really fucking love this time of year, all that, like it's good shit. But on that same record, there is, so one of my other favorite songs is a song that Lindsey Sterling has on it, which features, oh my god, I don't remember her name right now. She's like a hot Spanish singer Becky G. They have a song called Christmas Come On. And that's a really fucking beautiful song because, and kind of like Christmas movies are very formulaic. A lot of Christmas songs are as well. But they're fucking beautiful, and then of course you have Sabrina Carpenter did a version of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch on that record. There are a few instrumental songs as well on there that I don't really care for instrumentals personally. I know a lot of people will disagree with this, but to me, music without lyrics is just noise. I don't care about music without lyrics. It's fine for like background music, but I will never, let me listen to this. Like I have to have words. It doesn't mean shit to me if there's no lyrics. But where's it going with that? I'm segueing here for you. So my point is like there are a lot of different like things like that, and so like Sabrina Carpenter even did like a whole Christmas album, and a Christmas special on Netflix last year. It's really good. And one of the things is like a version of her song Nonsense, where it's a Nonsense Christmas. And another artist who did a full Christmas album and has a pretty popular Christmas song at this point is your favorite Christmas song, Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande.
That was a good song.
Now, for the longest time, I remember for the last couple of years, your favorite Christmas song was Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson. And you really, actually, I don't think you ever listened to that full record. Good record, still would recommend it. Kelly does a great cover of like Run Rudolph, Run, original by Chuck Berry. She has multiple of like her original Christmas songs. Good fucking shit. Just in general, really good shit. But like Fall Out Boy has done, like so many different artists. Fall Out Boy, Panic, Green Day, like so many Blink-182. So many different artists have done. Like, I think what's so beautiful about Christmas is, in whatever way it's celebrated, pretty much everybody does something for it. In some way. Everybody finds a way to like celebrate the season and I don't know, there's something about that is really it's a very unifying experience, I guess I'd say. And especially for me, because like I don't listen to like much. I mean, now I've gotten more into like pop music, but I don't really listen to like the radio, you know what I mean? So I didn't really know like pop, but when Christmas, like that was the time that I knew what other people were like. I knew songs that were actually playing on the radio and stuff. But I do remember when I first heard Last Christmas by Wham. My mom was driving in the car and I heard it on the radio. And I thought it was a girl. I thought, similar to how when I first heard Justin Bieber, I thought it was a girl. And then I remember when I found out about who did Last Christmas, Wham. I thought, oh, isn't there like another version where a girl sings this or something? And like, no, that was the version. But no, I don't know. There's just something really beautiful about, like I said, just a very unifying experience. I think it's really, 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 really sweet. But so I know you love Santa Baby or Santa Tell Me.
Santa Baby.
Okay. So, that's something to talk about too. Like Christmas songs and or movies we don't like. I do not. Okay. I used to hate it. I don't hate Santa Baby anymore. I don't love it because to me it's just very materialistic. I thought originally that it was about this girl. She's like referring to her boyfriend or her husband, as her lover, as Santa Baby. She's saying like, "Oh, hurry down the chimney! Hurry, come home! Like, I want you to be with me." Kind of like how there's a song again on Punko's Christmas. It's a song outside of that though, where it says like, "If the fat guy in the chimney comes through, he'll give me the opportunity to unwrap you." I thought it was that kind of vibe. It's like, "Ooh, hurry home! Like I'm waiting for you. I want you," kind of thing. Kind of a sensual, loving, like kind of, But it's just, I want a convertible and I want all that. Now, granted, there is a part where she says, "I want a ring," but I don't know. It just I don't love it's. I don't know. It's very. To me, it feels very materialistic, and I don't really like that. I also don't like the song "Christmas Shoes" because it's very sad. I don't like sad songs. No, well, okay, not sad in that way. That's just, come on, man. Like, I can't. I don't know, man. That's too much for me. And they made a movie of it, which is they also made a movie though of I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, but that might have been a Hallmark movie, not a real movie. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, that's like I said, I know that you like Santa Tell Me. What do you like so much about that song, and what do you like about, like, I guess other Christmas songs in general And again, we can ask this about Christmas movies too. What does a song require for you to consider it a Christmas song? And then we'll ask the same thing about movies in a minute.
If the subject of the song is Christmas.
The subject.
So
what does that mean?
like the singing, like if you're singing about Christmas, it's Christmas.
Okay. So I would argue that with something like Santa Tell Me and most Christmas songs, so I would argue the subject of Christmas is what is the kind of songs that people think are lame. Because Santa Tell Me, All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mistletoe, any of these more modern like Christmas songs that we like, the subject is not Christmas. The subject is like their lover that they're singing to. The backdrop is Christmas. And I would argue that what makes a really good Christmas song or a good Christmas movie is actually Christmas not being the focus, but Christmas being the setting, if you will. Like, this is the setting of it. This is taking place during Christmas time, but it's not quote about Christmas technically, you know. I think that's probably what actually makes a really good, like, you know, Christmas like movie or song. You have references to it here and there, but it's like, you know, okay, like for example, Fool's Holiday. You know, it's the chorus is, you know, it says like, wrap me up like a present and put me away. And you have lines like that. You have lines about like, you know, tinsel, you know, like decorations can change. I'm just doing the whole chorus at this point. But you know, you have allusions, you have references, but it's not about Chris. And even in Santa Tell Me, you know, it's like you're saying, you know, she's saying how, like, you know, I fell in love on Christmas, but, you know, and I wanted to be with this guy who I thought I was gonna love and be with, but, you know, I woke up and he left me. You know, he wasn't by my side. So now Santa, you know, really it's kind of the same thing as like you're like asking God for something. It's like, it's not, or the universe, you know, you're just using Santa as like the stand-in, where you're basically saying like, please let someone come into my life who's gonna actually be with me and not just like only want me for my body, you know.
Interesting.
Because that's like what Santa Tell Me is about. Okay, what do you think it's about?
No, you're pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really pay attention. I just like the
I don't understand that. I do not understand that at all. Because like
I'm not gonna pause a song and be like,
No, you don't have to.
So what is that reference? What is that?
I'm not saying you have to like pause it and think, but like, you know, you listen to the lyrics and you do you like pay attention to or care about? Because this is why I asked. There are a lot of people, and I don't understand, but there are a lot of people who like, I just like a good beat, or I just like they only their main focus is the sonic part of it, the sounds. For me, it's the lyrics. Like I was saying, without lyrics, like I can't listen to music I don't understand. I can't like lyrics I don't understand or sung in another language or whatever. I can't listen to music where it's like just music and no lyrics. It just doesn't do it for me. What do you look for in music? I guess in general. Like, what do you...
does it sound good? I guess.
Okay, so you are more into the sound than like the meaning of it or whatever. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Anyway, but yeah. So I would argue that it's because, like, you know, you take a song like Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul
Mhm.
McCartney. It's not a bad song, but the chorus is so fucking repetitive. That's the problem with that song. You know what I mean? It's just so... But it's a good song overall. But then you take something like Happy Christmas, War is Over by John Lennon. And it's a beautiful song about, like, hey, let's, like, not focus on what makes us different. Let's focus on, like, let's just come together and just have this beautiful moment. War is over if you want it. It's so... And I mean, at the time it was written and, like, released, it's even more poignant. But it's just such a beautiful fucking... Like, there's another... I don't know who it was originally by, but one of my favorite cover band, First to 11, did a... And they do a lot of Christmas songs in general. But they did a cover of this song called... Actually, I can find out who it was originally by. But there's a song called This Season, I want to say. Let me see here. I think... Oh, shit! Is it actually... No shot! Wait a minute. Oh my god, it's an original. It's actually by them. That's amazing. I had no idea. That's fucking awesome. I like that. That's really fucking good. Well, it was released in 2020, which was a very good time for it to be released, because the whole thing is about how, like, things fucking suck right now, but we're all in this crazy world together. And it's kind of like that song, and I actually haven't heard this at all this year, Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid.
Okay.
It's a similar vibe to that. I feel like it's a little bit more, I guess, uplifting to me, because the chorus is just, we're all in this crazy world together, which is like, yeah, like, we're all fucking dealing with this shit together, But yeah, I would argue that what makes a good Christmas, and probably a good Christmas movie, is where, like, Christmas is the setting. And I think that leads to the question of, like, what do you consider a Christmas song or a Christmas movie? To me, as long as there's references to it, and again, like, Christmas is like the setting or what have you, like, for me, a movie or a TV show or whatever that takes place during Christmas time, that's a Christmas movie. That's a Christmas, TV episode or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm curious though. Okay, so for example, you said, like, you're most concerned with a song as far as if it sounds good. So if a song just has like the sleigh bell kind of sound or whatever, is that enough to make it a Christmas song to you?
No, I'd like for it to have some words.
Okay, so the lyrics do need to be, like, Christmassy.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, for sure. And then what? Because, like, everyone has this debate. I don't think so much anymore, but, like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes, it is. Because, for one, it takes place during...
I don't know. The king himself of Christmas movies said it isn't.
Who's the king of Christmas movies?
Macaulay Culkin, or whatever his name is. Home Alone?
Yeah.
There was this...
He's not the king of Christmas movies. He was... Okay,
there was this interview that he did a couple days ago, and the question that was asked of him was the procurator guy said, so, a lot of people say Die Hard is a Christmas... And he knew where this... He's like, no. As the king of Christmas movies, it's not a Christmas movie.
He was in 2.
That's what he says.
And hot take, I don't really care for Home Alone that much. I don't get it. Like, it's fine.
It's a classic Halloween. Jeez, it's a classic Christmas movie.
I mean, it's... I don't know. Like, most of it is... I don't know. I guess because I'm not really into slapstick. And most of it is just, like... slapstick. Like, that's where a lot of the comedy comes from. Like, ooh, see these guys getting, like, And granted, I've never watched it the whole way through, but I've seen.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah, maybe.
You just stop at the middle or whatever, and you're like, you need to watch the whole thing.
I've seen clips and I've seen
you need to watch
pieces of it when I
the whole
was growing up. Yeah,
clips.
I mean, I watched the beginning of it when I was a kid, but I just never. I don't know. I never ended up finishing it. I should definitely watch it, but I don't think it's the king. I think if you were the king of, you'd have to be in multiple Christmas movies. And I would say of different genres and different different types or different types of maybe because Jim Carrey was the Grinch and he was the Ebenezer Scrooge. I would give him that title more than I would give Macaulay Culkin. What I will say though is Bruce Willis had said he himself said that it's not a Christmas movie, it's a Bruce Willis movie, which I think is kind of stupid because he didn't have a name for himself until that movie. But
that's a little
what
not condescending, but that's a little self-absorbed.
Oh, to say it's a Bruce Willis movie?
It's buddy, you were the main character, but it's not a Bruce Willis movie.
Well,
I mean, again, he's the main character,
right? Well, I mean, he was joking, more so anyway. But it's kind of the same where you're oh, this is a Jackie Chan movie, or this is a Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. You know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe he was going for, right? But my criteria for something being a Christmas movie is... my criteria is actually pretty loose, but even if it wasn't, Die Hard still fits. My criteria is that if it takes place during Christmas time, it's a Christmas movie. Now, they should say Merry Christmas and bring reference to the fact that it's Christmas at some point, but it's Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Now, Die Hard specifically is a Christmas movie because they make several references to it. There are people singing Christmas carols throughout it. There are multiple things having to do with Christmas that are actually integral to the plot. And they even end the movie with Let It Snow. It's a fucking Christmas movie. There's no...
I've never seen Die Hard, so...
Oh, I've never seen Home Alone. You've never seen Die Hard. We got two movies.
You've seen Home Alone. Just the first part.
You've never seen any of Die Hard.
I've never seen any of that. Okay. I don't really care to.
It's really... You like action movies, right?
It's a hit or miss.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't love all action movies.
Right. But I don't know, Taken or Jason Bourne or something like that.
Jason Bourne, the Bourne series, those are really, really good movies.
So I've never seen those.
Taken.
I've also never seen Mission Impossible. But yeah.
That's unfortunate on your part.
I missed out on. Yeah.
Dang.
Listen, I just started watching James Bond 2 years ago. So take that as you will.
Tisk.
Yeah.
No. But yeah. So fun fact about Jim Carrey, How Grinch Stole Christmas. There's this one scene, forgot where what scene it is, where he the Grinch is looking out into a crowd, and you see Jim Carrey's actual eyes, legitimate eyes, and then it cuts to whatever he's looking at, and then it cuts back to him, and he has the Grinch
yellow eyes.
Yeah. There's a little like a what's the word, it was a mistake on the
editor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or on the on the costume design people.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But gosh, my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, bringing it back.
Honestly, I would have to say Jim Carrey, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched that this year yet. I've been watching mainly things that I haven't seen yet. I actually just watched The Holiday the other day with...
Mm.
Oh, and okay, The Holiday, that's a good example. Because people will be like, it's not a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie. The whole premise of them... So it's these characters are like switch lives, basically.
Mm.
And the whole premise is they're doing it like for Christmas. It's the holiday. They're going on vacation. Without getting too much into everything. Yeah, it's and that is a really good movie. It wasn't like, oh my god, this is amazing, but it was a good fucking movie. It was good. I liked it a lot. And now I'm watching Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell. Haven't gotten far. I'm watching that while I work out right now, and I haven't gotten far in it. And I'm also watching because I'm watching these in like pieces. But I'm watching God, what is it? It's got Emilia Clarke in it. It just came out. Oh, Last Christmas. It's a good fucking movie so far. I like it a lot.
Okay.
Speaking about that, how do you feel about Hallmark Christmas movies?
They're okay.
Yeah. I can't stand them. I can't. Just Hallmark in general is just way too... I don't know, just too sweet, goody-goody, like, I don't know, I can't, it's just, I don't know, it's just, I can't do it, it's,
You like the real-life Christmas?
I just like, no, I like characters to feel real, you know, I want them to have real flaws and you know, for things to, like, be, I don't know, just, like, I don't know, it just... I don't know, you know...
Not all Hallmark movies are like that. Like, last Christmas, I was watching one with Nancy. Gosh, they all have the same name at some point.
Yeah!
But,
exactly. But go on. About some...
So what the premise of the movie is...
Successful businesswoman in her 30s, hates the holidays, and hates everything, and ends up going to some, like, log cabin or whatever and meets this hunky guy and everything turns around and now she finally learns to love Christmas, love herself, and falls in love with him and everything's going to be different when she comes back, except when she comes back to the real world. Probably just going to fall back into her old traits because that's what people normally do. But please, tell me about a good Hallmark movie. Did I nail it?
Wow,
Is that what the plot is?
No.
Okay, how does this plot?
Wow, you really hate... I'm going to use your word because you love to use the word hate a lot.
Yeah.
You hate Hallmark movies.
I mean,
what did they do to you?
They're not... I don't know, man. They're not...
Some people like them.
That's
Some
fine.
people don't.
No, you're right. There are a lot of people that like them. That's why they keep making so many. But I don't know. They just...
So before...
They're safe. They're too safe and predictable. That's what it is. Anyway, go on.
Too safe and predictable.
Yes, that's...
Alright, so the premise of this movie was... There's this girl... Cute girl, mind you. She was from...
I do like the girls, I'll give you that.
She's from some country where, like, her people were gonna... like, she was gonna be the next queen.
Is it the Christmas Prince? Or Christmas Princess?
I have no idea.
And
so
such clever names.
she hates it. Like, she doesn't want to be the queen, so she runs away. Right? And she comes to America... And, like, she's never been over here before, so she's trying to figure out, and like, people are, she's in New York, right? Or some big town or big city or whatever. And people are, we'll move out of the way, they're trying to get places.
I'm walking here.
Yeah. And so she, doesn't know what to do. All of a sudden she gets her purse stolen. All of her stuff is stolen. Never to return by the end of the movie. She never got her stuff back. And then she meets a person. He's to make a real long story short. She just hates the lifestyle over in her own home country. She wants to stay here, but then I guess her parents and I guess like the the guardsmen, they find her and they're like, hey, you need to come back to your people, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the guy she meets, I think his wife divorced him on Christmas. So now he hates all Christmases. Like every Christmas season he hates it, but he decorates for like the town, for their sake. So again, to make a long story short, right,
spoiling it for all the people who would love to see this Hallmark movie.
I know, out of the couple thousands that there are.
Yeah.
But no, so you say no real consequences, like that's a major consequence. She got none of her stuff back. None of her part. She got nothing back.
I didn't say no real consequences. Oh. I'm just saying. Well, okay, but wait, hold on. She's a princess, right? Or she's come from. So she can lose some stuff. She fucking royalty.
But she hates that. Okay. She doesn't want to be a part of that.
Okay.
But you really do hate Hallmark movies.
No, I'm rich people too. But I mean,
interesting.
If she I don't. That's not a concept. I mean,
what the name is.
First of all, my issue isn't the no concept. My issue is the safeness, the cheesy cookie cutter bullshit. There's something like, I don't remember what it's called right now. I want to say it's Showtime, but that Lifetime. Lifetime is like Hallmark, but a little bit edgier. I think they do like PG, even PG-13. I just anything that's in general, I think just G-rated. I just don't really.
You don't like it.
I don't. Yeah, most of it's very I don't know, I think it's the same reason that I didn't like Disney Channel growing up. It's just a vibe that I really can't put my finger on. It's too. I don't know. It's too safe, too childish. I don't even know what it is. It's not. I don't know. It's definitely inoffensive, but it doesn't. Maybe I would say it doesn't challenge you in any way. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't. It's just. That's the kind of thing I would have on in the background. Where I'm like, I don't really care. Let me just throw some whatever.
Right.
And it's sad because Vanessa Hudgens, for example, is in a lot of those movies now, and I like Vanessa Hudgens, but
So you don't like her anymore since she's
no, I didn't say that. I did not.
Dang!
That's crazy.
That would be grabby. Whoa.
No, that'd be ridiculous. No, I just don't care for watching her in those or watching those movies in general.
Yeah. And see, that's one of the good things about living in this country is if you don't like it, you don't have to. You don't like Hallmark movies. When I say Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
You don't gotta watch them.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, they're okay. Me personally, again, they're okay. They're fine. Yeah. I don't have a problem.
Well, let's go back to that Liz Wallet thing for a minute. So, because something that needs to be understood here is if you or I just lost our wallet, lost our whatever, that'd be horrible. But someone who comes from royalty,
right,
who has these connections, has never wanted for anything in their life, and they can just get that money again. That's not a consequence. If they were a regular person, sure, but they're not a regular person. I think that's part of the issue with Hallmark. All the characters seem so fake and out of touch, and I don't know. Everything I don't know. I can't. I just know I've seen some of them with my mom growing up, and I've been what the fuck is this? It's just not. Yeah, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
Well, unfortunately, I cannot find it, and there are so many.
That's part of my point.
Gosh.
Yeah, there are a lot.
There's there's a lot of Hallmark Christmas movies.
But you could argue that something like The Holiday or Last Christmas have a similar plot two Hallmark movies.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is these characters feel like real people. They really struggle. They talk like real people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just something about...
Well, I mean, all Hallmark movies is they're just like cozy movies. They're just, if you want to snuggle up with some hot cocoa and whatever, and you want to watch a few, boom, there you go.
I always thought, if anything, they're like...
It's really something you don't really have to think about. You just kind of...
Have you met me? I think about everything.
Yeah, you people pause and pause and pause. I'm like,
You mean Logan?
brother, can we like watch it? Especially movies. Like me, I know so many other people that love to just pause every 20 minutes and get into an in-depth... Like you and Logan.
More than just me and Logan?
Yes. Oh my. It's whatever. But like me. Like...
Yeah.
Yo, like if I'm watching a movie and I'm
yeah.
invested, like watching season 1 of Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
I didn't talk at all. I acknowledged. I was like, oh yeah. While looking at the screen, I was like, oh yeah, that does this and then you two are just like, oh yeah, blah,
yeah,
kind of watching it, talking most kind of. I'm like, I'm like a horse with those blinders.
And the funny thing is, I can't even like pin that on like you being such a huge fan of Percy Jackson, seeing this come to life, because if I watch like a Sonic movie with you, especially if it wasn't in theaters, I would gladly talk to you about it while watching it. You know, like, oh, can you explain this? Absolutely.
Oh,
let me explain the lore to you and all this
45-minute.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Not even 10 minutes into the film.
No.
That'd be a 2-hour-long movie, my guy. But no, like me, I'm one of those people where like if I'm watching a movie, not so much as it depends on what show it is. But mostly movies. If I'm watching a movie, like I'm quiet like 97% of the time.
I think most people though are like you.
Yeah.
Most people are not like myself or Logan, where we want to pause and talk about it. Because we're talkers. We love talking, and we're thinkers.
You guys can have this TV, I'll have this TV. You guys can talk your hearts out.
That's right.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, when we hung out...
Boom, be quiet!
When we hung out while you were...
Yeah! Oh my, what was it, like an hour-long, like, YouTube video?
Yeah.
And y'all, like, only watched, like, what was it, 5 minutes of it?
No. We got through that video and, like, half or 20 minutes of another one.
All in the span of, like, 8 hours. 8 hours. And 8, 9, 10 freaking hour workday.
Yeah.
Shoot. I was like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Dang.
We like to talk and analyze stuff a lot, yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Geez.
Yeah.
8 hours and you only got through.
Yeah.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, no, I'm one of those people where I will, I'll obviously watch whatever it is, but I'll talk like 97% of the time.
I don't know, because like,
or I'll talk very little through.
But to an extent that's, but like even like when we were watching, especially season 2, episodes 1 and 2 of season 2 of Percy Jackson. You were even pausing it sometimes and explaining some things to me and stuff. So, you do like pausing and explaining.
And then after I paused it, I was like, all right,
I think you like it more than you let on, because you do it a lot, even for things like that, and we do it for things that we watch together. I'm not the only one pausing. You oftentimes like ask me to pause, or you'll pause it yourself, or whatever.
That's for all the BS that happens on screen.
Yeah.
Because your boy got a bone to pick with all the idiocy going on. Like,
I think it would be really interesting, though. I think Logan and I talked about this actually, like a world where like if we grew up in like the 90s or something, and we were sitting through commercials. that would be our time to talk about shit.
And then,
right? And then it comes back and we're like, all right,
I understand.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Which, I mean, because you got fucking ads with your version of Disney Plus.
I do.
Yeah,
that's so for context,
we talked about this in the last episode, but go on.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who forgot, which, some of you do, I only have Disney Plus because of Percy Jackson. If they weren't making a Percy Jackson show, I would not have Disney Plus, and I'd be perfectly fine with that. So when I first had Disney Plus, the one free with no ads, the one with no ads, what did I say? It's like $8, $9, $10. Like, it was very, very cheap. Like, it was like $10. It was like, okay, cool, whatever. Oh my gosh, freaking! Before we watched episode 1 of season 2, the one to not to be free of ads, it was like almost $40. Mm-hmm. I was like, are you freaking kidding me, dude? Like, what's going on? But yeah, so now every like 2-3 minutes or so, an ad comes on. And, but, I was going to say something else. What am I going to say? Yeah, no, I am, like, if I'm watching something and I'm really invested in it, I will not talk at all. Like, and so, that goes to say, like, for Percy Jackson, like, I'll pause it to kind of, like, inform you, like, okay, so this is happening because of this, because, we all know you read, the,
comics?
The comic version of...
Graphic novel.
Graphic novel, there we go. You read the graphic novel, and, not everything is covered in the graphic novel, so right. I gotta educate you, on like certain things.
Mm-hmm. Well, also it's been a while since I've read. What I will read when the next season comes out, I'll read that graphic novel,
The Titan's Curse.
Yes, before like shorter to it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But yeah, actually tonight, way before, now since it's 11:41, I was gonna go see a movie, but
I thought you already did that already today.
No. So I was.
Mm-hmm.
So actually this morning I looked, and there were like 2 or 3 theaters that were showing it. And the movie I'm talking about is it's called David. And it's the story of, or it's a film about the story of David from the Bible. It looks phenomenal, like animation. I've already listened to all the songs. Mm. The songs are freaking slappers, dude. Mm-hmm. They're so freaking catchy. Just everything about it is just really, really, really nice. And so this morning before heading to work, I looked, and there were like 2 or 3 like movie theaters that were showing it. I was like, oh, sweet, and I looked, and one of the times, because I got off of work early, was 8 o'clock. But on my way home, I was going to buy a ticket to the movie theater that I wanted to go see. I look, and all 3 of the movie theaters, all the tickets were sold out. I was like, dang, son. But I'll just probably wait till after Christmas is done with, or probably wait till it comes to streaming. I don't know, one of the two. But yeah, it came out. What is it? The 10th? No, 19th. Jeez, no, it came out today, I believe. Yeah, today. And it's somewhat of a Christmas, related to a Christmas, but yeah. Yeah. If you could have one thing for Christmas, anything, like, boom, anything.
Does it have to be like a physical object?
It could be whatever you want. Anything.
Oh, Christmas is you?
Oh.
No, I mean, so I have two answers to that. Ultimately, I would say, to just be the man that I am trying to become and have the life that I want to have.
There you go.
Which I feel like is multiple things, but, you know, included in this would also be the second thing I would say is just like, you know, a beautiful relationship with a
beautiful
with a woman that I really love, and, you know, just fucking, yeah.
A beautiful dame. I dig it.
I'm not gonna get too into it and get all sappy and shit, but yeah, you know how it is.
That's nice. Yeah. Yeah.
How about you?
I'll probably never find it again, which is fine. You know, obviously, you grow up, life changes. It is what it is.
Right.
Back when I was a little kid, back when I was a wee lad, I had this childlike wonder about Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Just the lights, the music, the smells of the food in the can. Just just an elementary school type wonder about Christmas. And yeah, I would say over the years it's diminished.
Mm-hmm.
And really the closest thing I can describe it as is like a childlike wonder, but there's also like another like it's hard to describe. If I could take what I'm thinking, what it actually is, and like show you what it is, like from my head, you would be like, I understand. I understand you now. I understand what you're talking about. But again, the closest thing I can describe it as is like the childlike wonder of Christmas and just the blissfulness. Again, probably will never get that. Again, which is fine. But yeah, that and like because lately I've been seeing a lot of people on the streets. Just like I wish all the people on the streets and just all like all the homeless pets. Like I wish they could like have a place. Also a beautiful dame as well. Working on that, but
same, yeah, and that's the thing. Like I'm working on the thing.
I'm really working on it. I'm like, man, I hope this is it. Because I've been single for way too long. It's like it's absurd. And the thing is, I've been observing, friends, girlfriend, past friends, just I've been observing other people that I know very closely. Been observing their relationships with their girlfriends, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, don't like that. Ooh, really don't like that. That's kind of scary. Like, so yeah, so it's just but it's a good thing, It's like a good challenge, instead of like a challenge that's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'll ever have the one, or like I said, a beautiful dame, but
I mean, we talked about this, especially on like was it the last episode we had Logan on?
Two episodes
ago, okay.
Yeah.
So, we talked about this recently, but I'm a big proponent in that. Like, I think, you need to make yourself the most attractive version of yourself that you can. And, attract the women that you want into your life that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's true for women too, attracting men, or
And another thing,
people of any gender or sexuality attracting whatever they're into.
And another thing that I've been told, and it's true, that before you get into any relationship with a woman, how are you, like, do you, I'm definitely gonna botch this, but essentially he said something along the lines of, like, before you are in a relationship with someone else, you should be fine being on your own.
Agree, 100%. Yes.
Yeah. And I love my me time. Like I love, not love, but I enjoy, when it's just me. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm ready for something new. Something new. And so now I know that since I can be happy with just myself, I'll be even more happier with a woman. So
yeah, and again, like, that's one of the reasons why people often get so sad this time of year, because it's easy to get into that kind of depressive state of, like, oh man, I'm alone, or especially if you don't have, like, really friends or family to turn, or even more specific, you don't have family, because we have, like, our core group, the boys, right? But what are we all doing on Christmas? We're all seeing our family. If one of us didn't have a family to go see, we'd be alone. People don't spend Christmas with their friends, they spend it with their family. I mean, people will, same with Thanksgiving, right? People will do Friendsgiving and stuff like that. People will spend Christmas with their friends, but not Christmas Day, not Christmas Eve, not normally, at least, Normally those are like, these are family holidays, and that's beautiful. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's definitely something to be said in general for people that they struggle with that loneliness and everything. It hits me every now and then. One of the reasons that I, do need to, be in a relationship, is that someday my folks are going to pass away, and I would like to still have someone in my life who's family of some sort, and so especially to spend days like this. But I don't know, I think about, like, decorating a tree together and just experiencing these, like, these traditions you do, with, like, a, with a loved one, for things like that. And I don't know, again, I'm not going to get too into it and get all sappy and everything, but I think, in general, it's understandable that there are people who get really sad this time of year for a multitude of different reasons, but I think at the end of the day, Christmas is a very beautiful time of the year, and it's a beautiful thing to just celebrate the togetherness and the love, and if you celebrate anything else like Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever, I don't know anything about any of them. I don't really know what they're celebrating, but whatever you celebrate this time of year, whatever it is, like, more power to you. And if you have the religious aspect of Christmas and, all that stuff, like, more power to you. That needs to be a big part of it for me as well. Although I will say, and this is a weird way to put it, but it might make sense, especially to anyone who, like, believed in Santa and or, Jesus and just, like, any kind of, like, religious thing in general, and doesn't anymore. For me, not they're both very similar in that like they're figures of Christmas, and there are songs about like, you know, Here Comes Santa Claus, or there's songs about like, you know, Away in a Manger, Silent Night, whatever. And to me, they're I mean, I look at them now as they're just songs like well, like Here Comes Santa Claus or whatever, you know. It's like, it's not, you know, a real thing, but it's like a nice kind of idea, you know. It's like they say Santa's real in our hearts. That's kind of how I feel about, I guess, the character of Jesus now, and things like that. But yeah, I did. You know, Christmas is just a beautiful. It's interesting when we were talking about traditions and stuff. We never talked about how, like, I imagine you did as well, but like I used to, you know, go to church with my folks or friends or whatever. Hated going to the Catholic church with my dad. Oh my, it was like 4-hour long services, and especially as a kid, that's like, bro, kill me. But you know, yeah, I don't know. I think Christmas is a beautiful thing, and I think most people, I think if you know, you can find something you really love about it in some. I'm yawning again, yes.
You need to go to bed, little boy.
Listen.
It's Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve.
It's just
this
Christmas.
is going out on Christmas. Actually, maybe we should put it on Christmas Eve. We can discuss that later. But
that's how we do it, yeah.
Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
We probably should do. Yeah, because Christmas Day is going to be... We don't have to stick to Thursdays. I mean, the last episode we just put up on Friday because I fucking forgot.
Yeah, what do I freaking pay you for?
You don't pay me.
You know?
We're not making any money off this yet. But if you want to go to our Patreon... I'm kidding, we don't have it.
That's right. Yeah, drop a little 50.
We don't have a Patreon.
Drop a 50.
Drop a 50.
And by 50, I mean 50 grand.
Well, the funny thing is, if they did
that would be a Christmas present, huh?
I mean, you know, we wouldn't get that whole 50 though, right? When someone donates,
they just love to take.
Well, yeah, when someone donates, like Patreon takes a cut, or YouTube takes a cut, or Twitch takes a cut, whoever it is, like
bunch of greedy bastards.
I mean, I kind of get it, because
just like Uncle Sam, we gotta take some. We'll give you the not spares. We'll give you the leftovers.
Are you talking about taxes?
No.
Okay. Because like taxes are they go back into like bettering the community and
right.
the funding programs that benefit everybody and stuff. So you know, taxes are ultimately a good thing. Although the riches definitely need to be raised a lot, like a lot. They make way too much fucking money. Although when I'm talking about rich people, I don't mean like a millionaire. I mean billionaires. Like, yeah, they are. It's disgusting.
Like Elon Musk is now a trillionaire.
Yeah, that shouldn't exist. That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
A trillionaire should not even be a thing.
Yeah, no one person should have that much.
That's
now unless you're actually doing stuff for other people, helping out people.
I think there should be a limit where once you make a certain amount of money, and maybe it's a billionaire, maybe whatever it is, probably a billionaire, maybe a little over a billionaire, but probably a billionaire, you are forced to give back money into...
Or you're gonna go in chains.
Yeah, you're gonna... Yes, you'll get fucking arrested.
Dang.
I don't care. Something, yes. Yes, something where they need to, eat the rich.
Eat the rich?
Eat the rich.
I don't think I want to eat.
No, it's a figure. You don't act. It's a figure of speech.
I've never heard that figure of speech before. Eat the rich.
Yeah, it basically. Have you really? You haven't heard that before?
I've never heard that.
It basically means like, you know, take them down, take back like what's ours, kind of. You know, because when they have this like chokehold on all this money and the economy, it's not circulating. You know, they're just hoarding it like a fucking dragon hoarding a bunch of gold. You know, it's and that needs to be, the wealth needs to be spread around.
Yeah, what's
we're seeing.
It's
I'm
always
not
been
trying to get into.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's always been said like if Elon Musk gave every American citizen like what was it like $1 billion?
No, not
something.
$1 billion, but a good amount of money. He would still have a disgusting amount. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
That's.
And I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I think he should be forced to. I don't care.
My boy over here getting a little heated.
Listen. I'm not trying to do this. I'm trying to close on a positive Christmassy message. But yes, eat the rich. Yeah, trillionaires shouldn't be a thing. It's bad enough billionaires are. Billionaires shouldn't exist either, but that's not a point. And just to be clear, I don't mean the people who are billionaires shouldn't exist. I mean being a billionaire should not exist. You should have to spread that wealth. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we're not getting into this.
Because your boy, even though I have a nice car now, your boy would love a truck, a new truck. Specifically a Ford F-150 Tremor or a Ford F-150 Raptor. Because I have some friends that they have trucks now. And they're like, buddy, once you go with a truck, you will never want to go back to a car.
Do you remember what
really?
Day when we were all talking about like what kind of car would I have or whatever? I said I could see you either in like a hybrid, like a Prius or something, or a truck. And there you go. Get in a truck.
No.
I like it. I can see it.
I don't mind a used car or a used truck, but Elon Musk, if you're hearing this, drift your boy a little.
Well, that's not true. I'm sure Palantir is probably listening to all this.
Yeah. Oh, and fun fact: the CIA, if they wanted to, they could listen and look at you through your
I know.
So,
I know.
Yeah. There's this kind of there's this account I follow on TikTok where it's this like a former CIA like boss operative, and he gets people asking questions, about stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, and one of the questions was like, can the government spy on us through our laptops, phones? He's like, oh yeah, they're probably listening to you right now. So Trump, send me a few G's so your boy can buy a truck.
You're not going to get the 1776 thing.
1776?
Yeah, so there's this thing where he's for allegedly for like
oh yeah, he's doing that for we might, I don't know, but he said he's doing it for military, yeah. Which I'm fine with. Shoot.
It's just stupid that 1776.
Should be
because the whole point. Yes, exactly.
should be a lot more.
Yeah, because the whole point is like, oh well, that's when our beautiful country was founded in 1770. So it's like, okay, but at least that's not going to do much for most of these people. Like, fuck you.
No.
Anyway, I'm not. You know what he's not.
Remember what we said to be nice about AI?
What about it?
Be nice to the people.
No,
you never know who's listening or watching.
Freedom of speech. At least for now. No, I would say, what you're not going to get, because we did get them, but they were heavily redacted. The files were finally released, but they are so redacted. Anyway, these are topics for another time. I would love to get into them, but this is the Christmas episode.
That's right.
We're supposed to be.
And what we talked about was like 5 minutes of just other stuff. Whereas,
yes,
the 95% of this podcast
was Christmas. No, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And, I just don't want to get off onto like another tangent about like.
Final question.
What?
And it's a yes or no question.
Oh God!
Keep it simple.
Oh,
do you like fruitcake?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
Never had fruitcake.
Oh, it's not great. I don't like it. You might like. My dad likes it. So fruitcake is like what you normally like. You get with a person. Someone you don't like. You get them like yeah.
Oh God.
But my dad he used to ask for fruitcake all the time. I would get him fruitcake because he liked fruitcake. He doesn't have fruitcake now, but
What is it like? Dry?
It can be moist, but normally it's like a dry cake of like different fruits. It's basic. It's not. It's not. You have like mincemeat pie.
Never had mincemeat.
Okay, it's good shit. But that's look, fruitcake isn't like the worst thing in the world, but it's not great. One of the big things people will say like fruit cake is like as hard as a brick, which is not that hard. But
I've heard some people say that.
It can be hard, but Anyway,
that's it, folks.
We are done. We're gonna end this here. We're going on 2.5 hours. As always, guys, these are our thoughts, our conversation here. Let us know what you guys think about things in the comments down below. We told you, you tell us. Let us know what any of your Christmas traditions are. If you celebrate Christmas or some other holiday around this time of year. I think Ramadan normally starts around December as well. All kind of different. Let us know what you think about the history of Christmas, or like maybe your favorite Christmas movie or song, or what you consider to be a Christmas movie or song, or family traditions, your favorite Christmas, your traumatic childhood experiences, like stepping on a nail.
That's right.
Probably try not to do those.
Well.
But any of the things we talked about that pique your interest, lay it on us. We'd love to hear it. But that's going to be everything from us. Hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Jordan, do you have any final words for the people?
Just see you folks next year. Peace.